All right. So if you're looking at my face and wondering why I'm not Adra, it's because I hope she's on a fun vacation doing something relaxing and self-care for herself. My name is Caro, and I'm joining y'all from Austin, Texas. And I'm so honored to be here. And I've honestly just been really looking forward to this hour of time to sort of check in and stress and see how I'm feeling. And I hope you use this time to do that for yourself as well. There's a little bit of housekeeping I have to do before we start our yoga practice. So if you'll just bear with me, let me see who I can see right now. I can see Diane and Irene and Fran. So if y'all can just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. First things first. Okay, great. And then can you see the screen that I'm sharing that says welcome to chair yoga? Okay, great. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and go through this real quick. If you're new to the group or if you're returning, I would be delighted if you could click on the chat option, and that looks like a little speech bubble, and maybe type in your name or what state you're joining from or a fun fact about yourself, just so we can sort of welcome everybody to this wonderful go-go yoga community. I also wanted to let you know that this session is being recorded. And if it's concerning to you that it's being recorded, you are not being recorded so much as I'm being recorded so that we can share this class on YouTube in case you ever want to come back and take a yoga class at a different time. V, who is here on our call, she's our GoGo admin. She's going to be putting the class on YouTube in about 2 to 3 weeks from today. Oh my gosh, we have some people commenting. Yay! Welcome, Kenneth from San Jose, California, and Diane from San Antonio, just down the street. Alice, New Braunfels, awesome. We got a strong Texas crowd today. Al from New York, Sonia says hi. Oakland, California. Carrie from
I don't know
DC,
how
how
to do
fun.
this.
And Fran from Augusta, Georgia.
And
All
here
right,
is,
everybody's
no, here is
okay.
Audrey.
I'm
Audrey,
hearing I'm hearing somebody talking. Is it Lavin? Is that your name, dear?
yes. But I don't know
Okay.
why my first name and picture don't show. But
Okay.
hey,
Are you able to see me?
I see you in a small, yes, thumbs up. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
I'm glad you can see me. Right now, I'm probably small just because I'm sharing my screen, but I'll stop sharing in a minute. You'll be able to see me much bigger.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Amazing. Thanks for posting. I know it's always nice just to get a little bit of humanity in these online classes. All right. So last thing is that we do want y'all to remain muted during the class just so that each of you get the best auditory experience. So if you're participating in the class, just muting yourself during the class. And then at the end, I'll invite you to unmute so that you can share how you're feeling, what you thought of the class, any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that at the end of our practice. Okay, let's go to our next slide. Okay, so this is chair yoga as part of the Grow with GoGo program. Let's see. And this is just the GoGo phone number. So just in case you wanted a reminder of what the phone number is, it's 855-464-6872. And that's the phone number to call that will connect you with the GoGo services like rides, meal deliveries, groceries, medication delivery. And that last one I can't see because it's covered up with my own face. There it is, home services. Um, all things GoGo can connect you with. We want to keep growing our GoGo community. So you can always refer a friend to join in, and then each of you get $30 in credit to use on different services. So it's a win-win for us and for you and your friend. So it's actually a win-win-win. We have a Facebook group. This is just a space to connect with other members of the GoGo community. Kind of like we were just doing in the chat. It's a great space to talk about who you are, introduce yourself, meet other people who might be in your neighborhood or your city so that we can connect both virtually and in real life. That's my face. That's me. I'm Caro Fenno. I'm so happy to be here. we've been doing our little intro right now, and then I'll start us in with our class. We'll do a very brief little check-in meditation going into our yoga class. Um, this is a chair yoga class. And so we will be using the support of our chair, whether we're seated in it or sometimes optionally standing with the support of your chair. But the chair is going to be useful throughout the whole class. And then, as I mentioned before, we will have time at the end of our class for you to unmute and, tell us how you're feeling.
Hi.
Tell us what you thought of class. Oh, have somebody saying hi. Hi. Um, you do need a standard chair, so or a couch. Mostly, we just want to make sure nobody sort of slides around and flips during class. So if your chair has wheels on it, like an office chair, I'd recommend swapping that out for something a little sturdier that's not going to roll away while you're using it for support. Okay, all done with that. Let me stop sharing that screen. And then I believe, oh, great. V already did it. She spotlighted me. Amazing. So now, everyone, you should see me pretty big. Let's check in with our friend who was struggling a second ago. Lavin, are you all set? Can you see me better now? Okay.
Hi, this is
All,
Lois.
hi, Lois.
I'm
So you
trying to
have,
bring you up on my cell phone,
okay.
and
Cell phone.
it's just a little square that I see of you.
And
I,
okay.
are you supposed to be on the whole screen?
Yes, ma'am. I should be primarily what you see. And I'm not super familiar with how this works on a cell phone. But you know what? V, who is our admin who's on the call, she might be able to help you on your phone. Are you able to see the chat feature?
No.
No. Okay. Hmm.
Speaker video mute, Zoom, and keyboard.
V, are you able to unmute, dear, and maybe help us out? We do want to make sure everybody can see. And you know what, Lois? I do describe a lot of the movements that we're doing. So if you're not able to see, are you able to hear clearly?
Yeah, I got one
Okay.
good ear.
Okay. That's the spirit. I like you, Lois. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and get started if that's okay with you, Lois. And
Sure.
mostly if I'll just try to be really descriptive with my words and I'm sorry that I'm really small on your phone.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna move back this way and just make sure you can see my whole body. Um, from wherever you are in this moment, if you'd like to, you could take a seat in that sturdy chair that we were talking about a minute ago. And before we get started, I do just want to remind y'all that this is your hour of time and this is your body and your experience. And you are much more of an expert on your body than I am. So I'm going to offer some ways of moving and stretching and breathing, but they're all just options. So if you start to move and it starts to feel weird or you just don't like it or something feels funky today, you can always choose to stop movement or to change the way that you're moving. Um, I'm really just here to give you some ideas, some suggestions of ways you could move if you want to. So, all of that said, if you want to, one way you could begin your practice would be to sort of sit back into the support of your chair. So, really leaning back into your chair, resting your body on the back of your chair, letting your legs get comfortable in some way. Maybe you rest your hands on your knees. It's possible that you choose to close your eyes, but you're also welcome to have your eyes open. We're really going to let our belly get big here. Sometimes I like to call it our Buddha belly. We're not sucking in our gut, we're just letting everything get big and soft. And it's possible that in this moment, you may notice that you are breathing. And there's no wrong way to breathe. It's possible that you'll begin to sort of deepen your breathing in some way. So maybe your exhales start to get a little bit longer, more extended, almost breathing out past when you think you're done breathing out. And then breathing in deep, full, luxurious breath in. And then exhaling slowly at your own pace. A lot of different things you may notice here. As you breathe in, you may notice your belly getting larger, maybe a little lift in your chest or your rib cage expanding outward. As you exhale, you may feel a sort of release or maybe a lowering or a softening. Maybe your belly button even draws inward slightly as you exhale. So that with each breath in, you are growing larger or expanding outward. And with each breath out, maybe becoming a little smaller, exhaling, emptying out any of that stale air that we can accumulate with shallow breathing. You may find you want to stay here for a little bit longer, just focusing on what it feels like to breathe, kind of experimenting with breathing deeper in a way that feels complete for you. And if you kept doing this for the next 40 minutes, that would be a complete yoga practice. You're welcome to stay right where you are. But if you're feeling that you'd like something a little bit less challenging than 40 minutes of breathing, you could begin to find some movement in your fingers, maybe blinking your eyes open if they were closed, possibly some movement down in your feet or your toes in some way. It may feel interesting to circle your wrists. You could also extend your arms forwards or overhead, starting a great big stretch. You may even notice your feet lifting off, extending your legs, breathing in. As we exhale, you could bring your arms down, planting your feet, and maybe starting to sit a little taller. Now, you may find it useful here to scoot forward in your chair, planting our feet beneath our knees so we have some support, and possibly starting to lean side to side. Now, this side to side movement, sort of warming up our lower back, the side of our body. You may start to feel the beginnings of a side stretch here. You could continue side to side, or for a different sensation, maybe beginning to circle your torso. So if you want to, you could start to find a kind of circular movement with your torso through the air, all sorts of different sensations you may be noticing here. So you may begin to feel kind of a stretch down more into the center of your lower back, maybe around your hips or even the backs of your legs. I'd love to invite you to try both directions. And you may find that one direction feels a little different than the other. You could also play around with different sizes of circles. So it may feel useful today to explore your full range of motion in your torso circle, kind of finding your biggest circle. Or you could start to sort of spiral back inwards towards kind of your smallest circle, kind of circling around center. That might feel a little different into your low back, finding that mobility in our spine, our hips. If you're holding your breath, just inviting your body to breathe in a way that feels natural as you're moving. And at any point here, you could begin to lean forward any amount. So this is our first forward fold. You could keep your hands on your knees. You could also bring your elbows to your knees. Either way, there's an option to lean a little bit side to side. And if you choose to lean side to side, you may start to feel a deepening or a change in the stretching sensation in your back or your lower back, maybe the side of your body. Possibly exploring the beginnings of the spinal twist. So, one way to do that would be to explore sort of lowering one shoulder forwards and down, and then trying that on the other side. So, as you bring your right shoulder forwards and down, you could look to the left, kind of completing that twist. And then as you bring your left shoulder forwards and down, you could look to the right, maybe behind you. So we're starting to get into a little bit of a stretch or a twist into our upper back. Oh, yeah, some of those spaces between and underneath our shoulder blades. At any point, you could come back towards what feels like center, pushing into your knees to lift up, maybe even reaching overhead to breathe in. Then on your exhale, you could bend one elbow so that we're just reaching up with one arm. And then as you inhale, you could swap that out, reaching up with the other arm. And maybe we continue from side to side, reaching one arm up and then the other. And this may bring more sensation sort of into your rib cage on the side. Oh, almost like we're adding more space in between each of our ribs, more space to breathe. If your fingers are asking you for movement, you could explore sort of grabbing the sky and pulling it down towards you with one hand and then the other. So what that may feel like is some movement or sensation into your fingers, almost like you're pulling a rope down towards you from the sky or the ceiling. At any point here, you could choose to reach both arms up and breathe in. And then as you exhale, you could fold your fingers down towards the base of your palms. So making a gentle fist, and then perhaps circling your wrist as we bring our arms all the way down. We're getting into a wrist stretch, maybe the backs of your hands, the base of your palm, continuing to breathe all the way down. On an inhale, you could reach back up. And this time, as you exhale, maybe flicking through the air with your fingers. So sort of intentionally finding your full range of motion here with our fingers, strengthening our hands, our forearms, our wrists all the way down. On your next inhale, maybe reaching right back up. And this time, as we exhale, we'll wiggle our fingers, playing that invisible grand piano all the way down. Noticing any sensation in your fingers, your thumbs, some strengthening feelings maybe in your hands. Once your arms are down, you could shake out a little bit in your hands, possibly resting your hands on your knees so that we can come right back to that leaning side to side we found before. This is a good opportunity to invite a deep breath in and a long breath out. You could continue side to side, or for a little bit of a different sensation, we could take our spinal wave. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can sort of see what I'm doing here in case that's useful. As you inhale, if you want, you could lean forward any amount and maybe lift through your heart to looking forward. As you exhale, you could tuck the tailbone, maybe your fingers come towards your knees, and we're sort of rounding, rocking back to look down. So that with each breath in, there's a kind of lift in your heart coming forward. Each breath out, maybe you're rounding, rocking back. So sometimes this is called a spinal wave. Other times it's called cat and cow. Kind of coming forward as our big cow, breathing in. As you exhale, you could round your back, finding that cat, maybe bowing your head. Really letting our spine articulate in a way that maybe we haven't let it move this week, this month. We're staying within a range of motion that feels like an interesting stretch. So, throughout our practice and throughout your day, staying within a range of motion that feels comfortable. We're not moving into anything that feels pinchy or painful. At any point here, you could come back towards what feels like a neutral place for your spine. And then we'll find those torso circles we explored a little earlier. Kind of resetting, listening into your lower back. If you choose to, you could inhale for a full circle and exhale for a full circle as well. And beginning to come back towards what feels like center or neutral for you. You have the option of sliding just your left hand towards your left hip. And as you do that, maybe turning to face the left as well. We could breathe in here. On your exhale, we'll slowly move to the other side, to bringing your right hand towards your right hip, maybe turning to look to the right. And continuing from side to side, sometimes this is called a spinal twist. You may notice some feelings here in your mid back, maybe all the way down into your hips. So noticing where you feel sensation as we allow our spine this lateral side to side movement. There's no rush. So whenever you feel ready, maybe the next time you're looking to the left, we could pause here. And then maybe bringing your right hand over to your left knee so that we're sort of holding in our twist for a moment, maybe even looking past your right shoulder. So kind of looking back towards center. You could breathe in here. And as you exhale, perhaps looking past your left shoulder. So looking sort of in the direction of the wall behind you. Wherever you are in this moment, we're going to inhale our way back towards center and then exhale over to the other side. So maybe your left hand finds your right knee. As much as feels possible in your twist, sitting just a little bit taller, breathing in. And as you exhale, if you want to, you could look past your left shoulder. So looking back towards center if you want. We'll breathe in here. As you exhale, if you'd like to, you could look past your right shoulder, sort of back in the direction of the wall behind you. Then we'll inhale as we start to come back through center, maybe bringing your hands down, maybe a little shake out in our hands. We're going to give our arms a little rest. So maybe we bring our hands to our knees and we're going to bring our awareness down into our feet. So possibly lifting one heel and then the other. So I've chosen to take my shoes off today. You may still be wearing shoes. I just want to recommend if you're sitting on a surface that's sort of slippery, I don't recommend socks, just so we don't end up slipping. And we want to have good traction. So either bare feet or shoes. So maybe we lift and lower one heel and then the other, or for a little bit of a different sensation, you could lift both heels and then we'll sort of tap our heels side to side. So that's kind of getting into more of a stretch into the bottom of our calf muscles, all those connective tissues and tendons down between our ankles and our legs. Possibly bringing your heels towards what feels like center, landing your feet, and then we'll lift our toes and sort of tap our toes. We're just strengthening some of the muscles that run along the front of our shins. You may feel that muscle strengthening sensation. We'll start to bring our feet towards stillness, sort of bouncing it out with our heels. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling out. As you begin to plant your feet, possibly pushing into the ground with both feet, just to sort of notice maybe some muscle dynamics or muscle activation that happens when we push into the ground with our feet. Let's breathe in. And as you exhale, we'll stop pushing into the ground, possibly lifting one foot and then the other. You could use the strength of your arms here to lift and lower your feet. Sometimes with this movement, I find it's useful to scoot a little bit forward. You may want to adjust how you're seated just so you can, explore lifting and lowering our feet any amount off the ground. And the next time you are lifting your left foot off of the ground, maybe you pause with your foot lifted. And we can hold on to our shin. You could also hold on behind your knee, whichever feels more comfortable today. Either way, imagine sitting just a little bit taller as you breathe in. And as you exhale, possibly circling your ankle. So we're checking in with our left ankle joint. Maybe we point and flex our foot. And then something you could try if you want would be to flex your left foot. And we're going to sort of wave towards the camera. Kind of a lateral movement with our foot, really strengthening around our ankle. As you feel ready, you could extend your leg forward and then we'll lower our heel to the ground. Again, I'm just going to turn to the side so you can sort of get a sense here. We want to have our left leg extended forward, planting our right foot firmly beneath our right knee. And then imagine lifting and lengthening through your spine, breathing in. As we exhale, you could begin to lean forward and you may start to feel a stretch here in the back of your left leg. We're looking for a stretch that feels useful and interesting today. Wherever you are, let's breathe in and breathe out. Whenever you feel ready, we're going to look forward, breathing in. And as you exhale, maybe bowing your head. On your next breath in, you could look forward, rising up, maybe reaching overhead. On your exhale, you could bring your palms together towards the center of your chest. And as we inhale, diving upward into the sky above you, exhaling your arms all the way back down. Let's plant both of our feet. Maybe we bounce out our heels. You could also take a little bit of this kind of windshield wiper movement in our knees side to side. It's possible that your feet kind of roll from their outer edge to their inner edge here. So we're checking in once again with our ankles, getting a little side stretch there. And as you begin to bring your knees towards stillness, we're just going to take that sequence on the other side. So breathing in, maybe lifting your right foot off of the ground. Now, sometimes we have a tendency to kind of round forward here towards our leg. If you're noticing that that's happening, maybe using this opportunity to lift and lengthen, sitting taller to breathe in. And as you exhale, you could explore that movement down into your right ankle, circling your toes or pointing and flexing your foot. And then if it felt interesting on the other side, you could try it on this side, flexing your right foot and sort of waving your foot side to side. It's kind of lateral movement. All sorts of strengthening you may notice down in your foot here. We're going to use an inhale to maybe extend your right leg forward, exhaling to land your heel. Now, you may find that your right leg wants to be straight here, so you could keep your leg straight. Another option would be to add a bend to your knee. So you get to sort of choose which of those feels more interesting today or supportive. As we inhale, maybe you find that length in your spine. And as you exhale, maybe you lean forward any amount. Sort of letting your body know that you're not going to push into anything that feels painful. We're just looking for a stretch in the back of your right leg that feels interesting or useful. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you choose until you feel ready to maybe look forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, you could bow your head, bringing your chin down towards your chest. As we inhale, looking forward, this time reaching, rising all the way up. Exhaling your palms together to your heart. And as we inhale, diving upward into the sky above you, exhaling your arms all the way down. As you begin to plant both feet, there's that option again of sort of bouncing out your heels, maybe a little bit of that windshield wiper movement. For a little bit more sensation in our hips here, we could explore a wider stance. So stepping your feet just a little bit further away from each other, and then taking that same side to side windshield wiper movement. So you may notice a little bit more sensation up into your hips here. A sensation somewhere totally different, right? We'll start to bring our knees towards stillness, keeping this wide stance. And if you'd like, you could let your toes sort of angle out a little bit away from you. Maybe we start to lean side to side. So this is the same movement we began our practice with, but with this wider stance, you may notice a change in sensation. Maybe a stretch towards the inside, our legs, maybe a side stretch a little deeper. Your forearms could begin to support you on your knees as you lean side to side. And as you're leaning to the right, maybe imagining a sort of opening across your chest so that we're looking up and to the left. And then as you lean over to the left, maybe there's that same sort of almost like a rotation upward so that we're looking up and to the right. Continuing from side to side, noticing where you might be feeling sensation with this movement side to side. If your arms are really asking you for more movement here, you are welcome to add in sweeping one arm overhead and then the other. And that may bring all sorts of lengthening, stretching sensations from sort of your hip all the way up into your upper back, your armpit. There's no wrong way to breathe here. You could explore connecting your movement to your breath in some way. One way of doing that would be to sort of inhale over to the side, then exhale up through center, and then inhale to the other side, and exhale up through center. And you could continue this honestly for as long as this is feeling good, as long as you're feeling that nice stretch along the side of your body, kind of opening. And when you're ready for something different, maybe coming through center, possibly reaching both arms up to breathe in. And as we exhale, pulling down through the air in front of you. As you inhale, you could scoop and lift your arms up. And as you exhale, you could pull down through the air in front of you. I'd love to invite you to imagine that your arms are moving through something that's thicker than air. So adding a little bit of resistance here. Maybe your arms are moving through water or mud. I don't know why I'm picturing melted chocolate. I must be hungry. Whatever it is you want to imagine, so that your arms have a little bit of resistance here, lifting the air as you inhale, exhaling to pull down. We'll just take that one more time. Hands on your legs, maybe turning our toes to point forward. So possibly keeping our wide stance, just letting our toes point forward, and then we'll come back to those torso circles we found earlier. Again, these may feel a little different with this wide stance. So you may have more range of motion. You may find that as you're leaning forward, you feel more of a stretch into your lower back. As you're sweeping back, you may even feel some engagement or strengthening in your abdomen, your abdominal muscles, your core strength. There's no rush. So really just if it sounds interesting today, you could begin to lean forward with this wide stance. Your hands could be on your knees. You could also bring your elbows to your knees. We're coming into our wide forward fold. So you're welcome to stay right where you are. If it feels interesting, you could continue moving forward. So maybe your hands come to your ankles or your feet or the ground between your feet. Wherever you are in this moment, it's possible that you choose to bow your head forward. Almost like, we're inviting our neck to let go of the weight of our head. So your head make it kind of heavy. You could even shake your head no or nod your head gently yes. There's always an option to sway a little bit side to side. And most importantly, just noticing that you're breathing in this moment. As you feel ready, we'll begin to bring our hands to our knees if they aren't there already, slowly looking forward. Anytime we've been upside down like that, we want to take our time to slowly rise back towards neutral. Really, we're just giving our head time to slowly make its way back above our heart, breathing in all the way back up towards neutral, maybe even reaching up to breathe in. As you exhale, you could bring your hands together to your heart, inhaling, diving upward, and exhaling your arms slowly back and down. Now, if it's available, you could hold on to your chair behind you. If for whatever reason that doesn't feel nice into your shoulders today, you could also reach actively back for the wall behind you. We're going to heel toe our feet back towards a more neutral place. And then inhale a lift in your heart. So maybe looking upward, breathing in. As you exhale, maybe you release your arms forward. We'll cross one arm over the other. Maybe you hold onto your shoulders or your arms and allow your elbows to get heavy. So our elbows are kind of resting on our body. So many options here. You could stay right where you are. You could also turn slightly side to side, and that may bring a kind of stretch into your upper back. You could choose to keep your focus forward, so looking forward as your arms move side to side, or as your arms move to the left, you could also look to the left. And as your arms move to the right, you could look to the right as well. And we'll start to come through your center whenever you're ready, noticing which arm you have naturally placed on top. And we're going to swap that out. So maybe you inhale to bring your arms wide, a little lift in your heart. Exhaling the opposite arm on top, letting your elbows once again get heavy, kind of resting on your body. And then if you'd like to, you could take some movement side to side. It's entirely up to you. You may find that you want to stay center. And the heavier we can let our elbows get, the more we're getting into a stretch into our shoulders. Noticing that you're breathing. We'll start to come through what feels like center. And if you'd like to, you could inhale to open your arms. Then we'll exhale to release your arms down, maybe a little shake out in our hands. You could also rest your hands on your legs and roll your shoulders out. We're going to do just a little bit more check in with our shoulders. So, one way to do that is to inhale your arms wide and out to the side. And as you exhale, you could bend your elbows, bringing our fingers towards our shoulders. Now, this is already a stretch and strengthening sensation for our shoulders. We could stay here. If your elbows start to drop down, maybe inviting your elbows to lift so they're in line with your shoulders. And then we'll start to circle our elbows in some way. Now, any movement in your elbows here is going to bring perhaps some sensation into your shoulder joints. So just noticing what you notice, finding your range of motion today. We'll change directions a few times. And then I prefer to roll one elbow and then the other, but if you prefer to sort of circle both at the same time, you are welcome to try that. That may feel, more interesting for you today. It's always an option. If you're circling one elbow and then the other, maybe imagining that we're sort of swimming forward, so kind of like a freestyle with our elbows, and maybe giving a little rounding to our upper back. So I'm just going to turn to the side here. As you're swimming forward, maybe there's a little rounding, maybe you bow your head. We're kind of getting a little bit of a massage into our upper back here. And then if you want to start swimming backwards, so taking that kind of backstroke, maybe we find a little bit of a spinal twist. So as you swim backwards, maybe you're looking from side to side, strengthening in our shoulders and continuing our spinal twist until you feel ready to start bringing both elbows forward. Maybe you bow your head, inhaling, opening your elbows, spreading your arms wide, spreading through your fingers, opening your face, your eyes, your mouth, failing to release your arms down. A little shake out in our hands. You may even find you want to rest your hands on your knees, give a little shimmy in your shoulders or a roll out in your shoulders, and maybe even shaking out in our feet, just giving a little softening. We're going to bring our awareness back down into our legs and feet. So if you want to, once again, lifting one foot and then the other. Possibly inhaling to lift up and exhaling to lower down. This time, if you'd like, we could add in a little bit of strengthening sensations into our legs and hips. So as you inhale to lift your left foot, you could exhale your palms pushing down into your knee as your knee pushes up and into your hands. So we're inhaling to lift up, exhaling, palms pushing into your knee, knee pushing up and into your hands all the way down. And you could continue from side to side, lifting to inhale, exhaling, sort of creating your own resistance all the way down. So that the strength of your arms and the strength of your legs are sort of feeding each other, each helping the other grow stronger. This way we can each sort of calibrate the amount of resistance that we need today. Now, the next time you are lifting your left knee, we could pause here if you'd like. So many options. First option would be to hold onto your knee, maybe by your shin or your leg. Once again, inhaling to lift and lengthen. You may find you want to invite some movement in your leg. So maybe your left knee is circling through the air and your hands can sort of guide it through the air, really listening into our hip joint, circling in both directions. If you're feeling that you'd like a deeper stretching sensation into your hip, one way to find that, to begin flexing your left foot, maybe you guide your ankle to your knee. So this may feel like a useful stretch today. You could stay here. If for whatever reason this is not feeling interesting and good today, you could slide your ankle down so we're sort of crossing our left ankle over our right and our knee may be sort of opening to the side. Whichever one of those you've chosen, maybe we inhale to sit taller. And as you exhale, you could lean forward any amount. As you inhale, we could come back up. And as you exhale, you could uncross your knee. Maybe just extending one leg and then the other, softening through our knee joint before we take that on the other side. As you feel ready, you could plant your left foot and begin to lift your right knee towards your body. Again, you could hold on to your shin or to your leg. And this first option would be to find this kind of circular movement through the air. We're looking for the softening into our hip joint, finding a range of motion here. You're more than welcome to continue this circular movement. If you'd like to find that hip stretch that we explored on the other side, you could flex your right foot and guide your right ankle up to your left knee. So this may feel like a stretch you want to stay with. You do have the option of sliding your ankle down, so we're sort of crossing at the ankle. Either one of those is going to give us a check-in on our hips here. Maybe we inhale to sit taller. And as you exhale, you could lean forward any amount. Inhaling back up through center and exhaling to uncross your knees. Again, maybe extending one leg and then the other. You may get some snap, crackle, pops here in your knee joints. You always have one knee that makes more noise than the other. Let's go ahead and plant our feet. And if you want to, you could sort of bounce out a little bit, lifting one heel and then the other. As you inhale, maybe we reach all the way up. Exhaling your hands together to your heart. You have the option of interlacing your fingers and taking a little bit of movement in our wrists, seeing how your wrists are feeling today. Possibly turning your interlaced palms away from you and slowly beginning to extend your arms forward. So as your arms begin to straighten, you may feel more sensation in your wrists. It's possible that as you inhale, you choose to start lifting your arms towards overhead. And as you exhale, you could release your arms all the way down. We're going to close with our final twist. So if you'd like to, you could bring your right hand to your left knee. And your left arm could rest maybe on the back of your chair or the seat of your chair, and maybe towards your left hip. As we inhale, imagine sitting slightly taller. And as you exhale, maybe closing your eyes. We'll stay here breathing for a moment, kind of noticing what it feels like to breathe in a twist. So it might feel, slightly more constricted than our standard breath in and breath out. Your eyes are closed. You could blink them open. We'll inhale through center and exhale over to the other side. So taking our twist on this side, maybe your left hand finds your right knee. Then your right arm, it could rest on the back of your chair, it could rest on the seat of your chair, or maybe towards your right hip. Imagining lengthening upwards in your spine. So sitting as tall as feels comfortable today, breathing in. As you exhale, you do have that option of closing your eyes, noticing what it feels like to breathe here. Your eyes are closed. You could blink them open, and we'll inhale our way through center, exhaling our arms down. Maybe you start to lean side to side and use that side to side movement to make your way all the way back into the support of your chair. Possible that you want to extend your legs again, your arms again, taking that same great big stretch we started with, breathing in and exhaling your arms and legs down, inviting yourself to get as comfortable as you can possibly be. Maybe your eyes closed, maybe you find that big Buddha belly again, letting your shoulders melt down away from your ears so your arms are heavy and soft. Possible that your eyes are closed. If you're noticing that you're furrowing your brow or clenching your jaw, you could invite your face to rest so that there's a kind of softening in your forehead, your jaw, letting go of whatever facial expression you've been holding as it melts off of your face. As we transition down into a moment of stillness and rest, a time to perhaps feel some tenderness or compassion for ourselves, maybe accessing some love for yourself and gratitude that you made it here today, that you joined this practice. And we'll take this time to rest and breathe. We'll be here for about 1 minute, after which I'll bring us back with the sound of my voice. Slowly beginning to deepen your breathing in some way. Slowly drawing your thoughts and awareness back from wherever they may have wandered. And beginning to find whatever little movements your body may be asking you for right now. There's no wrong way to move or be. So you may find that you want to blink your eyes open or find some movement in your feet or your hands. It's possible that you find a little bit of length in your spine. You could choose to bring one hand over the other over your heart and take a moment just for yourself to thank and acknowledge yourself for overcoming whatever obstacles were in your way so that you could be here to move and breathe and practice in this community. If your eyes are closed, you could blink them open. Maybe you inhale to reach all the way up. Exhaling your hands together to your heart. Peace and light and love from my heart to yours. Thank you all so much for sharing this time with me, this practice. Such a joy and privilege to get to share this time with you. You're welcome to unmute if you have any questions or feedback or comments, compliments. And I'll come a little closer so we can have a little chat after our class together. And if you need to log off, that's fine as well. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you
I
so
have
much.
something I'd like to say. I,
Sure.
I enjoyed this class.
Oh, good. Where are you? I'm trying to find you. Who's talking?
I'm Lois.
Oh, hi, Lois. I'm so glad you were here.
I'm 78 years old,
Oh my goodness, 78 years young.
and I have Charcot-Marie tooth disease. My
Hey,
feet are not pretty, and I've had surgery on hammer toes twice.
wow. Uh-huh.
And now my right knee is giving me the fits.
Mm,
So
mm,
my brother observed how I was walking last week or the week before when he took me shoe shopping.
mm.
And I bought a pair of shoes, wore them out of the store. And then he noticed how I was walking. And he says, "Can you lift that foot up anymore so it doesn't slide on the pavement?" And I says, "Michael, I'm doing the best I can." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Okay." So we didn't talk about it, but he tells his wife how I'm walking. And now I've got a roller.
Okay.
So I can use my roller. I've been approved for the paratransit pickup,
That's great.
so
That's great.
I can go to church and I don't have to call anybody, say, "Hey, are you going? Can I come too?"
Totally. Totally. I mean, a moment of gratitude for your brother, right?
Oh yeah. And
For looking
yesterday
out.
he came over and sick as a dog, but he came and
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing, Lois.
oh, there's a
Um,
lot to
that's
this walker that's behind the scenes that you don't think of. Well, he put it together, so now I know. And there's one extra part.
okay.
Oh,
Oops.
That always
Thank
kind of happens, right? You put together a piece of furniture equipment and there's just an extra piece. And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
where did this go?
yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Lois. I'm so happy you were here. And I'm so happy everybody who's been commenting. We got some great uh, comments. I did want to thank Fran for commenting that she modified the rotation a bit. That is so important that we all should be modifying for our bodies and what feels good. So thanks for sharing that. And thank you for everybody
Oh,
who's commented. Such a joy. Any
I've
other?
got an extra layer of fat in my tummy because I used to weigh 265, and
Okay.
I quit work and had a car wreck, and that stopped me from going to fast foods, and I dropped to 140 pounds, and then
Wow.
I had lung surgery. Hi, who are you?
I don't know. Is that me?
Yeah.
Is that Audrey in Ohio?
Oh, I don't know. Letter A came up, but anyhow,
Thank you and goodbye.
Letter A is Annette,
Oh,
and I'm
bye,
saying
Lenny.
thank you.
Hi, Annette.
Hi. A thoroughly delightful class.
Oh, I'm so
oh,
glad to hear it. Thanks for
oh
being
yeah,
here.
I will be here on Friday too.
Okay, good. Me too.
Great. I'm looking forward to more exercise. My neighbor takes me 3 times a week to the gym with her, and we do our workouts on the machines and things. But I told her this
Awesome.
morning I wanted to get on that bending machine so I could get this fat off my belly.
Mhm. It looks like maybe Millie, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yes, am I in there?
Yeah, I hear ya.
Oh, I've been trying and trying. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I pushed some buttons. I don't like to push buttons. I don't know how to make this phone work, but I guess it happened. Um, I'm very comfortable with the way you have shown us in this session. I've had
Oh,
a great,
good.
so I'm a little bit leery about doing some things, but
Hmm.
it hurt anything. Oh, I'm so glad
Modify.
to let you know that I'm here. I don't know if you know I'm here when I can't commute, or I mean, not commute, but converse. There's so much
Um, I
history of
know
life.
you're here. Don't worry. We can see you. I know you're there.
I
I
was,
see a great big M and it says Millie Williams. You're here, my dear.
well, wonderful. Thank you so much. Now I'll
Yeah,
let someone else share. This is wonderful. I hope this happens on Friday when I join the class.
it will. I'll be there with bells on. So
And what
excited.
time Friday for East Coast?
Oh, that's such a good question. I'm in Texas. So, V, could you remind us what time class is on Friday? I have to admit, I don't remember. V's going to comment for us in the chat box and she will let us know.
Eastern time will be 1 p.m. So in the emails
1
that
p.m.
everyone receives, depending if you're in Pacific, Central, or Eastern time, you would join at the time depending on your personal location.
Okay, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. And then that's noon for all us Texas folks. If there's anybody else in Central time. Well, thank you all so much. This was such a wonderful privilege. It's wild how being online, I still felt all of your beautiful energy coming through my computer. I felt like you were all here with me. So thanks for joining.
Thank
I
you.
had a question on how to get this on YouTube.
Yes. So Molly, V posted in the chat after your question, and it looks like she put the link for the YouTube channel. And if you go to that channel, you'll see all the past classes. And I think this one will be up in about 4 weeks.
And you find them by date? That's what I didn't know, because I went there and I said subscribe. I thought I was already subscribed, but maybe I wasn't. And then there were a whole lot of choices.
Yes. So they're going to be all of the past classes that we've done. So it'll be my classes and then all of Aja's classes as well. And I believe they are sorted by date. Um, I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you go to the channel, it'll list them all. And then if you click on it, when it opens up, it'll tell you what the date for the class was.
Do you have to be a member of to use YouTube?
No, no, I send those classes to all of my yoga students here in Austin too. Don't tell anybody.
So,
That YouTube channel is open to all.
so they have it listed as, they have a functional fitness list and a 45-minute chair yoga.
Mhm.
They have several different things, categories. And one of
That's
your
right.
classes this week is listed under the under the fitness because, so well, I guess I'll find it in 4 weeks.
Yes. So I think, yeah, I think that's the delay between class and when she posts them is about a month.
It's the time slot that you might be under functional fitness for this week, right?
On Friday. I
Yeah.
think that one is, yeah.
So today was the yoga class and Friday's the functional fitness.
So fitness.
No,
I
this
believe.
It's the
no
reverse.
the anytime Carol's here is so then this week and next week every single class will be chair yoga until Adra's back.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you guys read the email, it's also in the email like anytime we send you an email, we'll let you know what class will be on Friday and what class will be on Wednesday. So that way you are aware. But for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, it will be all be chair yoga class, okay?
Okay, so all her classes will be archived under the chair yoga link.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. This is
I enjoyed it.
connected.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, I will see you on Friday. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Much.
Bye.
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 Bye.